1, 2, 3. Our brains just love 3. So that's what we're going to be talking about on this particular episode, how our brains just love 3, how you can use this in your business starting today. So let's get to the show. You're listening to Be in Demand, the podcast for honest advice, inspiring stories, and ideas for growing your business by leveraging the expert that you are. I'm your host, Laurie-Ann, business mentor, and I'm also a reformed painfully shy girl, red wine lover, and exercise enthusiast. Join me as I share how being positioned as the expert in your industry, even if it's a busy one, will help you stand out and be the one in demand to hire and work with. Hello. The fall weather here is in full swing here in New England. And as much as I love the summertime green, the fall weather just always reminds me of how beautiful New England is. And the fall has definitely come in a little bit earlier. I want to say by at least a couple of weeks. We did have, a very dry summer, and then this cooler weather just kind of started up. And when I say cooler weather, I mean it's really beautiful in the morning, but it gets we've had some really chilly evenings. But that's New England for you. So today we're going to talk about 3. So let me ask you a question. Would you consider being on one social media platform? That's it. You can only be on one. Facebook, Instagram, blogging, LinkedIn, live streaming on one platform. Only one. That's it. No, you're probably saying, of course not. And the reason why you don't is because it's not because you're always going to be like, well, what if my ideal client is not just on Facebook? What if they're not on Instagram? And having multiple ways that people can actually consume our content gives your potential clients, your audience, options. And that's what this magical number of 3 is about, having options. And I'm going to share with you how to use this in your business today and in the future, how I've used it, and how you can profit from this. And this is such a fun topic for me because, this is where, like I've told you before, I'm a brain neuroscience geek deep inside. So I'm totally into this particular topic. And this is something that I share with a lot of my private clients. Now, we all know that a confused buyer buys nothing. What we have to do is we have to prevent our buyers from getting confused, from being overwhelmed. Because if they get overwhelmed or confused, they don't do anything. So sometimes like when we overteach on a live stream and it's like, okay, go out and use all this information. And they get confused. It's like, I'm not sure where to start. I'm overwhelmed. What was step 1 again? And they walk away and do nothing. And if you made them an offer, like even just for your opt-in, you might notice that, I didn't get too many. At the same time, a buyer who feels like they have no options, they don't enjoy the selling process. So we need to make it really easy and an experience for them, meaning our potential clients, our audience, to feel like they're in control. So let me share with you this study. And it's an ice cream study, as a matter of fact. They did a study with 2 ice cream stores. One of them had 31 flavors. Maybe you know who that might be. And the other store, just a couple of doors down, had 3 flavors. So 31 compared to 3. The store with 31 actually had more foot traffic, but the store with just 3 actually had more buyers, sold more ice cream. So what does this mean? It means when you go into the store that had 31 flavors, it was so overwhelming that, oh my God, I don't know what to buy. I don't know what to get. I don't know what to try. But then you go into the store with 3, whatever those 3 flavors were. It's like, oh, okay, let me pick one of those. How does this apply to your business? When there's only one option, it's a take it or leave it. Here's how to work with me. It's 6 months. It's yay many dollars. This is it. Oh, okay, is what your buyer might think. It's a take it or leave it. 2 options. If you don't like the first option, you have to have the second option. Human brain, again, doesn't feel like it has a choice. 3 options. Now the human brain feels like it has a choice. Because if I don't like the first one, I still got 2 more to check out. Human brain and your buyer feels like they're in control and they have more choices. They get to decide which one of those 3 fits in to their particular situation and scenario, what they need, which one's going to solve their problem. So I have a coaching practice and I work with clients in several different ways. I work with them, one, in groups, such as my membership site, which is called In Demand, and also the group program that you've probably heard me mention before, Momentum. I work with clients and students in the form of like masterclasses and workshops, and those are typically 1 day, half day, 90-minute type events. And then I also have private coaching. And in my private coaching, I actually have, and when I say private coaching, it's one-on-one. I have 3 different ways that you can work with me. I have a year-long program that's a done-for-you program, and that's a 6-figure program. My most popular one is my 6-month program. 6 months, 3 times a month, support in between each session. And then I have a 90-minute session. And that's a one-off. It's, hey, let me get this one particular problem, scenario, planning, all done in 90 minutes. That's a very popular option also. So here's how to use the power of 3 in a sales and discovery call. And if you're having trouble with this, at the end, I sort of share with you how you can get on one of the book more sales calls assessments at the end of the show. So here's how to use this power of 3 in your sales process. Don't just give your customer who's on the other end of the line, whether that's just the phone or whether that's Zoom, you want to still give them options. And you do want to start with the higher option, the higher priced ticket. And then if that doesn't work for them, if they're like, no, that's actually too much, it's too much time, too much money, whatever their objection is, that's when you can say, well, I do have another option. And here it is. And by having that contrast, again, like there's a contrast in price, but there's a contrast in options and a contrast in time and what they get from you and how much time they get with you. So for you, if you happen to be in coaching, it could be you start off with your very high-end mastermind. Oh, that doesn't work. Could be a private coaching, could be a group program. It could be a DIY product. If you happen to be a service-based professional, let's just say, for example, a done-for-you like a web designer. You could offer, hey, we can do your entire website for this much, or like your other options to help them could be 3 pages. Done for you in a day, or maybe it's just 1 page. Maybe you're a copywriter and same thing. It could be the entire website, which comes with, it could be like 10 pages, whatever your client base works with, and then come down from there. That's how to use the power of 3 on a sales call. But let me take it back a little bit further, to when I was doing my executive leadership coaching days. I still offered clients and companies 3 different options to work with me. It wasn't just, well, you'll just have to hire me as their coach. No, I always offered multiple options. If I was being considered for someone's coach, some of the other options might include assessments. So here's like an example of what I might do for like a speaking proposal. Speaking proposals always have options. It might be 1, 60-minute keynote. Option 2, 60-minute keynote with a breakout session. Option 3, it's a keynote, the breakout session, and maybe some private coaching for some of their top performers. And same thing with consulting. It could be a 3-month package, a 6-month package, a year-long program. You just want to give your buyer, your potential client, your customer options. So you're probably thinking, okay, So how do I use this power of 3, Laurie-Ann, if I'm launching just a single program like a mastermind, a course, or a new service that you have? And I've got a great answer for you. And it comes like 2 different ones, actually. Upgrade options. You could have a general, and I'm using air quotes, seating, general seating. Then there's a VIP option. And that VIP option could have like group coaching and some group calls, some templates. But you could also have another option, again, the power of 3, which could be some private coaching options. Like there's so many coaching sessions that they get one-on-one with you in your mastermind or this particular course. And those upgrade options, of course, are going to come with different price tags. But again, the human brain just feels like, oh my God, like I have a choice to pick which one is going to best suit my needs for where I am right now. The other way to add the power of 3 into a single event, a single program or course, payment options. We see this a lot. There's the pay in full. And of course, that typically has a little bit of a discount reflected in the price. You might have a 3 payment option or even a monthly payment option, but you get to decide what those 3 options are. And again, your potential buyer's like, oh, I feel like I have a choice, which is actually going to help you have more profits and also more clients. Because if your clients, your audience, your students feel like they have more choices, then they feel like, oh, this is actually a great buying experience. And even if it's just that one, like, hey, I'm launching this mastermind, I'm launching this course, to be able to offer the power of 3 in there as well, just makes your buyer feel, oh, I've got a choice in doing this. So what I want you to do is actually to go back and review your offerings and services. Do you have 3? Or do you only have 1? Like this is the only option that I have. And maybe you're just starting out in your business. And I get that. If you are just starting out in your business and you're trying to get some experience and some testimonials, you might only have 1 offering. I just want you to work towards having another offering. So if you're doing, I'm just going to take coaching as an example. You want to have a couple of different ways. 3 ways would be beautiful for people to work with you. Or you can just take your single program, maybe it's a signature offer, and have 3 different options. Maybe there's some upgrades in there or payment options. But it's also, if you're new, it's also something for you to strive for. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. Where can you add this power of 3 into your business, into your business model, and into your offerings and services for your clients and customers? And if you're having a hard time with how do I put all this together, Laurie-Ann, I'm not even getting enough people on the phone with me so that I could have discovery calls or sales calls, I want to encourage you to grab my Book More Calls assessment. The link is in the show notes, and it is a free call where we will go over the 3 pillars of having a calendar full of sales calls. And when you have a calendar full of sales calls, remember that also translates into having a roster full of paying clients. And that's how we all have profitable businesses. So I hope that you enjoyed this particular episode on the power of 3. And if you haven't done so already, I'm going to ask, would you please go leave this podcast a rating and review? I would totally appreciate it, because when you do that, the podcast platforms share this podcast with other people that they believe are going to be interested and who could benefit from it. So thank you so much in advance for that. Until next time, see you later and have a fabulous week and be in demand. Thanks for hanging out with me. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And join me over in my private Facebook group for more tips, community, and free trainings. You'll find the link in the show notes. You can also help this podcast reach more listeners by leaving a review. And as a thank you, each month I pick one of my reviewers to win a free coaching call with me. So if you haven't done so already, please leave a review and you could be the next winner.